I woke up in.
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a tutorial using the Jaclyn Heal palette. Before we jump on into the tutorial, I thought I'd just run you through a couple of my thoughts on the Jaclyn Heal palette because I actually have been using this a lot to try and get a feel for it and figure out what works best, what I like about it, what I don't like about it. So I'm going to tell you my thoughts. Firstly, the packaging, while it is beautiful and it's very Jaclyn with the white and the silver reflective, it's not very practical. I've gotten this so dirty already. It's a little bit hard to see with my lights, but this is already quite dirty. I've got makeup here, here, down here there's like a stripe of foundation. It's just gonna get worse. I know it because I have makeup. Like, it's just what happens. So the Jaclyn Heal palette is $38 US, which cost me 50 Australian dollars, and shipping was $27, which is $35 Australian dollars. $30 for shipping, you guys, is ridiculous. Like, I don't know how they justify that, especially because I've ordered things online before from the US and there is no way that shipping was $30. That is insane. The other thing about this palette that I wanted to mention was that I bought 3 and they only gave me one of the cards that have all the shade names on them. And considering that I bought 3 palettes but I only got given one card with the shade names on it, I'm kind of like, why? Especially when Jaclyn went to so much effort to name all of these shades and, you know, have like really nice stories behind all the names, and they're really personal to her and her family and like journeys throughout her life and things like that. I don't know why you wouldn't put it on the back of the palette, especially when the back of the palette doesn't really give you any more information than what's already on the front. When it comes to the actual shades themselves, I do really like the colors. These colors are right up my alley. I think it's really well thought out in terms of being a palette and being able to use the different shades and work with them. They all complement each other really nicely and it's a really nice composition of a palette. However, the shimmer shades, not so much. I have found these very difficult to work with. I've even sprayed my brush with Fix Plus and that didn't even help it. The only shimmer shade that I've actually managed to get to work really well for me is Pool Party, this color that I'm wearing on my lids today. The only thing that really gets it on my lid well is using my finger, which doesn't really give me much precision. So I just found that the shimmers are a little bit of a letdown. If you have some kind of magical technique and you've gotten them to work, please let me know what that is in the comments below. Alright, with my opinions out of the way, let's jump into the tutorial. Alright, so to start, I'm going to use Edible Beauty's Exotic Goddess Ageless Serum. This is a serum, so it's kind of skincare, but it also works great as a primer. So that's what I'm going to be using. And then I'm going in with Benefit's Hello Flawless Oxygen Wow Foundation. It's a bit of a mouthful. And then I am taking the Cover FX Enhancer Drops. This is in the shade Celestial. And then the Total Control Drops by NYX, and I'm just popping them under my eyes and everywhere that I'd normally highlight. I know it looks really weird, but trust me, when you blend it out, it looks really nice and your under eyes are really nice and bright. Then I'm just finishing it off with my Real Technique sponge so I don't have any brush strokes, marks on my face, and it's all nice and blended. Then using Benefit's Ka-Brow, I just quickly did my brows. And now jumping into the palette, I'm going to be taking Creamsicle and I'm just going to sort of really roughly buff that through my crease just as a transition shade. And then I'm going to take this shade here called Butter and I'm just going to do the same thing, but I'm just really going to flick it out towards the tail of my brow and also going underneath my lower lash line. This is going to create a guide of that kind of blown out look that we're going for. And then I'm also using Butter through the crease just to slowly deepen things up and get sort of an idea of the shape that we want. Now I'm taking the shade Jax and I'm popping this on the outer corner of my eye. So I'm basically just really deepening up that outer corner and defining the crease a little more, as well as that bottom lash line, just making it nice and smoky and still following that guide that we created before. So it's almost like a triangle, but it's just blown out. Now I'm taking the shade Soda Pop and I am very lightly pressing this and blending this into the outer corner, basically where we put Jax, but just deepening it up and smoking it out a little bit more. And then once I don't have as much product, I'm then going to go through the crease. You just want to do this very light-handed. Now we're going to be cutting the crease, and I'm just using the Nars Creamy Concealer for this. And if you have hooded eyes, this is my little trick. Just open your eye and you'll see it's created a guide for us. I'm now taking a concealer brush and just following that guide. It's a really, really good trick if you do have hooded eyes. Now we're taking the shade Pool Party and we're just going to press that onto the concealer, which should still be quite tacky. So it should go on really nicely and stay on all day long. And because it is a light coloured concealer, it will help the blue really pop as the base. Now I'm going in with my Sigma Line-Ace and just doing a little bit of eyeliner just to help cover the lash band when we put on our lashes. I'm going to be using the Samantha lashes by Huda Beauty. I've been loving them at the moment. And for concealer, I'm going to be using Nars Creamy Concealer and basically just highlighting all the areas of the face that I normally would. You guys know the drill by now, I'm sure. Just everywhere I want to brighten my face, I'm going to be popping this and blending it out with a Real Technique sponge. Then for cream contour, I'm using the Mineral Stick by NYX. And I just find this one is really good because it's actually foundation, so it blends out really nicely. And it's just a good colour. It's not too warm, it's not too cool. Yeah, it's just a perfect colour for me, so I like to use this one. And I also blended everything out with a brush, not a sponge. I find this just blends out a lot easier with a brush. And then I can go over everything with a sponge later to make sure it's all nice and blended. For bronzer, I'm using Nars Laguna bronzer, and I have not used this in ages, but it is the perfect, not too warm, not too cool bronzer. I don't know why I stopped using it because I used to love it. And then for baking, I'm just using the Kat Von D Lock-It Loose Setting Powder. It's a bit of a mouthful to say. And then I'm just going to dust that away shortly after just to make sure I don't have too much of a white cast. If you leave it too long, I find sometimes you can have like a white cast under your eyes, which is not what you want. And then for blush, I'm actually using MAC's Give Me Sun because I wanted something a little bit more warm. And then jumping into my favourite glow kit by Anastasia. I'm just going to highlight the areas of my face that I always do. You guys kind of know by now where I like to do it, which is just everywhere. And then I'm using Skinny Dipped by Gerard Cosmetics. It's one of my favourite liquid lipsticks ever. And then using their Slay All Day setting powder, and you are done. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this tutorial. If you did enjoy it, you know what you got to do. Head on down and give me a big thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. And also subscribe so you guys don't miss any videos. I hope you all have an awesome day. I will see you in my next video, if not sooner. Bye! Whoa, 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 hold up. One more thing I forgot to tell you guys. I bought an extra palette for one of you. I just so happen to have one here all boxed up and ready for one of you. So if one of you want to get your paws on the Jaclyn Hill palette, all you got to do is head into the comments below and tell me what your favorite video of mine is, and you could win yourself the Jaclyn Hill palette. Easy as that. Alright, so this really is the end of the video now. I hope you guys have an awesome day. I will see you in my next video, if not sooner. Bye!